Hello, in this video we'll show you how to remove and replace the front wheel bearing on Audi A4, B6 and B7. First we'll start by removing the wheel. Next we'll need to remove the brake caliper and the brake caliper support, but first we need to move the brake cylinder back a little bit so that we can take the brake caliper out. The brake caliper support is held by two bolts that we need to remove, and then the whole brake caliper and the support come out. If the video is useful, please like and subscribe. Before removing the brake caliper, we need to disconnect the brake pad wear sensor because we don't want to break it. And now we can remove the brake caliper and the brake caliper support, and we'll hang it on this elastic band. Next we'll remove the screw that holds the brake disc and remove the brake disc as well. Next we're going to remove the bolt that holds the drive shaft to the wheel hub. And here in the rear now we can see the bolts that hold the wheel bearing to the wheel assembly. There are 4 bolts, 2 down and 2 up there. In order to remove these 4 bolts, we don't need to remove any control arms, we just need to push in the whole drive shaft. The CV joint needs to be pushed as much as possible towards the inside, and then we'll make enough space to remove the bolts. We can see how we can push back the CV joint, and we can wiggle the CV joint a little bit to make enough space to remove the bolts. Okay, we removed the two bolts completely and the other two just partially, so that first we need to take out the wheel hub, and then we will take out the two bolts. In order to take out the wheel hub, we're going to use a slide hammer. So now we're going to hammer out the wheel hub. Sometimes the whole wheel bearing assembly might come out, but here in my case only the wheel hub comes out because the wheel bearing is very stuck. Next I'm going to remove the two bolts that I didn't remove the whole way, and I'm going to try to take out the wheel bearing. Now we have to start removing the wheel bearing. The wheel bearing here is very stuck, so we're going to use a pin punch and we're going to start hitting the bolt. Hopefully it will start coming out a little bit until we start to use the screwdriver to pry it out. We can see the wheel bearing assembly is separating a little bit from the wheel assembly, and it's separated enough so that we can use a screwdriver to put it in there. And now we're going to make the hole bigger and try to take it out. We can see it's coming out, but it's very hard, it's very stuck, but it will come out eventually. And the wheel bearing is out. Now we can clean the place where the wheel bearing is sitting, maybe with sandpaper. Next we're going to remove the remaining part of the wheel bearing from the wheel hub. We're going to heat it up a little bit and then we'll try to take it out by hammering it out. and now it's out. Now we need to push the wheel hub onto the new wheel bearing assembly. We're going to be using a hydraulic press to push in the wheel hub. On the bottom of the wheel bearing we're going to put a ring that's about the same diameter as the smaller inner ring of the wheel bearing, and we're going to start pushing it in. And the wheel hub is in. Now we can put the whole wheel bearing assembly onto the car. We've cleaned the space where the wheel bearing assembly is sitting. We're going to put in the 4 new bolts, and then we're going to put the wheel bearing on, tighten the bolts, and then assemble everything in the reverse order. Hopefully the video was